On nuclear weapons, President Biden is about to make a blunder far worse than the debacle of Afghanistan. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. The Biden administration is examining what should be future U.S. policy on the use of nuclear weapons, a so-called nuclear posture review, and it is considering a change that is freaking out our allies, as well as defense experts and officials here at home, who believe that such a move will endanger security for all of us. Current policy is deliberately ambiguous. China, Russia, North Korea, and future possible nuclear adversaries like Iran don't know how the U.S. might react to a lethal strategic threat, say an imminent attack from missiles with deadly viruses, or to a tactical nuclear attack on one of our allies. You don't want them to think we'd not consider using such weapons in certain circumstances. But Joe Biden may follow through on his campaign promise to change this to an explicit no first use or only now purpose use of nuclear weapons. While that may sound nice, in the real world of geopolitics, it says to allies, don't count on us, and it signals adversaries that they need not fear a nuclear response if they commit a major aggressive act. Britain, Germany, France, Japan, and other allies have been furiously pleading with Washington not to make this change. There is no way to foresee all contingencies for the future. A classic example was in 1953. The U.S. was bogged down in a stalemate in the Korean War. Negotiations were going nowhere. Russia, China, and North Korea hoped we'd grow weary and pull out. Our new president, Dwight Eisenhower, wanted to end the conflict. With behind-the-scenes diplomacy, Ike let it be known he'd consider using nuclear weapons. Our enemies considered the threat credible, and an armistice was soon signed. Eisenhower also apparently made a similar threat years later against China when it considered invading Taiwan. Talking about the Korean Peninsula, in 1950, the U.S. Secretary of State decided to precisely define what parts of the world we considered crucial to our security. He left out South Korea. Months later, Moscow and Beijing gave North Korea the green light to invade. Oops! South Korea, which before no one paid much attention to, was seen as critical to Japan's security, which in turn was critical to our safety. Moreover, doing nothing would invite more aggression from our enemies, just as appeasement did with Hitler in the 1930s. Our allies today are hammering home the point that a change in policy here would signal U.S. weakness, thereby inviting big trouble from China and Russia. If Biden does change to a no-first-use policy, you can bet that Japan and South Korea will consider developing their own nuclear weapons to deter China. Do we really want to see such an arms race? I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions. I look forward to being with you soon again.